I've been wanting to branch out with my sourdough loaf making because I just make a basic loaf every single time. I've made a pumpkin one for like fall Thanksgiving that turned out pretty good. I really missed on my Christmas one. However, I have been seeing for Easter, April, bunnies. People have been making bunnies out of their sourdough loaves, and I just feel like that would be so cute. So I want to try. Tonight I'm just prepping the loaf. I am a creature of habit. I have stuck to the same sourdough loaf recipe since the very first loaf that I made because it works, so why switch it up? However, I know that you can do this a lot of different ways. This is just what has been working for me. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I feed my starter once a day. So I typically in the morning, so I'll feed it every morning if I'm keeping it out and not in the fridge. But when it's out, I feed it every morning. And I like to start my loaf at the like 12-hour mark-ish. So I'll feed it in the morning and then I'll start a loaf that night. Because if I start it the next morning, I just feel like the sourdough's lost a lot of, I don't even know, the like bubbles. And then I do around 325 grams of water. This is more than the recipe that I like technically follow calls for. I feel like when I did less than that, it was super dense and not like the fluffy sourdough that you see. So this is what works for me. All right, and then I do 500 grams of bread flour. I love King Arthur's brand. That's my favorite. It's only my favorite because it's the only one I've ever used. And I don't like to stray. Oh shoot. That's a little bit much. All right. Did I get that all over me? I sure did. Okay, then before I mix it, I like to add the salt. Normally I do sea salt, but we're out of that. So all I have is this like table salt. I do 10 grams of that. All right, and then we'll give that a good mix. So this is what she looks like. Almost dumped her out, but I'm gonna cover her with a wet rag. And then I let her sit for 30 minutes. I do a series of 4 stretch and folds with 30-minute intervals. And then I let her rise overnight. Okay, so it's time for our first stretch and fold. Because the dough is really sticky, I don't like putting flour in my hands because I feel like it just incorporates into the dough and I still get it everywhere. So I like to get my hands a little bit wet first. That way it doesn't stick to my hands as bad. For stretch and folds, it's just 4 folds all the way around, almost like a square. Sometimes I lose track while I'm counting. So then I'll just do an extra one for good measure, just in case. Okay, and then I cover her back up. And then put her away until stretch and fold number 2. Stretch and fold number 2, same thing. This time the dough is a little bit softer and less lumpy. So it starts to kind of all smooth out after that first stretch and fold. Now the rag goes back on and we'll do it again in a sec. By this time, the dough's really smooth and there's only 1 stretch and fold left, so it's pretty much like at what it is gonna look like. And we'll cover it back up and do one more. Okay, this is our last stretch and fold. After this, we just let it rest overnight. I don't know if you can see it. All right. I really hope this turns out. I'm gonna be so sad if it doesn't. See you tomorrow. I don't think you can see this at all, but there's a bunny outside. Hi, little guy. Okay, so next morning, I let the dough proof overnight and then I'm gonna just shape it and then put it in a little basket whatever it's called, and let it sit in the fridge for a few hours. What do I want to show you? This is what she looks like. Oh, it looks so good. This, I do flour my hands. I feel like people do this a lot of different ways. I don't necessarily think mine's perfect. Just move it around in a circle. I can't multitask, I can't talk and do something at the same time. So sorry I'm speaking slow. After I've shaped it, I put it in this thing and then I cover it. I like to put some extra flour on top. And she looks like this. I'll just cover her up. I like to let it sit in the fridge for at least 4-ish hours. The recipe that I follow says an hour, but I found that the longer I've left it in the fridge, the better it turns out, so. It's time to bake. I thought this would be the best angle so you could see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Oh! It's the moment of truth, everybody. So the oven is preheating. I'm following a tutorial on Instagram. Theirs turned out really well, so I'm hoping for the best. So first thing they do is they chop off one side. And then they roll this up. Okay, cute! I think this is gonna be the tail. Okay. This. And they fold it like this. This is kind of looking like a rotisserie chicken. One here. Oh gosh. And then here. And then here. Kind of looks like a dead frog, not gonna lie. This is the ears. Cute! Okay. Okay, so then you have your string underneath. This is a face. Tie it into a bow. This is a leg here and here. This guy goes in a toothpick. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I have a lot of doubts about this one. It's falling apart like as we speak. So I'm gonna put her in the oven and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so I do 20 minutes in the oven with the lid on and then 25 to 30 minutes with the lid off. So I'm gonna kind of see how it's baking now because I just hit 20 minutes. We'll see. Okay, it's kind of cute. It's a fat bunny, that's for sure. We'll see. It's time. Oh my gosh, it is so cute. Babe, you have to come see this. Look at it. It's a bunny.
That's cute.
Look. Oh my gosh, that is.
I want this piece though.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So there you have it. A sourdough bunny. Thanks for joining.